So adults don't learn Sanskrit the way children will learn. So you will have to, children are like sponges, they'll absorb everything. Adult brains work differently. So the secret that Sri Aurobindo had given us was go from near to far. What you do, what you know, you extend that knowledge. What you can do, you extend that knowledge. So first of all, we'll just start absorbing the sound, start enunciating it, get the fear of, most of the time it's just a little fear which has been put into us, that it has to be exactly perfect, otherwise the effect of the mantra will not be there and bad things will happen. We are discussing the Purusha, so Vinashama Vyayasyasya, no, there can be no damage that can happen to the Purusha. All right. So we'll quickly look at the meaning, but don't get too carried away by the meaning. It's a very simple thing. These are 4 padas. And so you'll see each pada, nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, na chainam kledyantyapah, na shoshayati marutaha. So when we pronounce the 3rd pada, we end with kledyantyapah. We don't say kledyantyappo, and that you will hear when you listen to the pathas and all. So each pada is end stopped. End stopped means the rhythm stops there. It doesn't carry over. So this is called a end stopped rhythm. So that makes it easy. The Gita is very simple to do part. There is no problem. As long as you can pronounce it. And the other thing is, make sure you give enough time to each varna. Don't gobble up. Like in English, we gobble up words. Like we say in English, strawberry is called strawberry. So if you talk to an English guy, the strawberry, he'll swallow the words. Library becomes library. So they merge sounds and words. We don't do that in Sanskrit. Every varna gets its proper enunciation, pronunciation, and its time. So nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha. Now notice subtle difference. Pa will take longer. Pavakaha. Although it's some, and we don't do say sha is not sh. In Hindi we often say ram. No, in Sanskrit it would be rama, because ma is ma vyanjan plus a, so it's rama. Sushruta. So charaka, it's not charak. In Hindi we say charak, it's not charak, means a ka with the halant. So just if you can remember that, and it's really very simple. So I just want to get everybody used to the sound, and hopefully everyone will start doing the patha. And if we can do it, I'll just do it once. And remember, I'm not a professional vachak. So nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, na chainam kledyantyapah, na shoshayati marutaha. Shoshayati, na chainam kledyantyapah. So if you want to play it once, Pankajji, you can play it so that even better people will hear a better vachak from much better than I. Then we will practice. Then we will do it. So you saw shoshayati. Sh gets its time. You're not going to say shoshati. Shoshayati. Now when you speak it faster, but you may compress it a little bit. Na shoshayati marutaha. So we will give every varna gets its importance. If we start doing that, the part becomes much easier. Now play it, sir.
नैनं दहति पावकः न चैनं क्लेदयत्यापः न शोषयति मारुतः.
So you may have noticed na chainam kleda yantyapah. So you will give the time to the, you will not say kledyant, which often people who are used to Hindi like me, they have this habit. Now, anytime a word is followed by a half varna, a varna is followed by a half varna, because it's going to take longer, that varna becomes longer. So, nachainam kled, this will have a little subtler, longer duration. All right, so I will do it once, and then everyone will unmute themselves, and we will do the part together. It doesn't matter if you don't get it right. There is no right in it. You do it with bhava. The most important thing is bhava. As long as you have the feeling, Sri Krishna will forgive everything. Okay, I'm going to do it, then you will do it. So can unmute yourself anytime. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, nachainam kledayantyapah, na shoshayati marutaha. All right, we're going to unmute everyone. Jidesh, Super Morpheus. We're going to have fun with this. Okay, we're going to start. 1, 2, 3. Nainam
chindanti shastrani
nainam
dahati
न चैनं
क्लेदयन्त्यापः
न शोषयति
मारुतः.
Now let's try to do it all together if we can, because that's the best way to do it. Today is Navaratri, so better. This is our invocation to Sri Krishna and to Shiva. Both will be pleased. Because okay, I'm 1, 2, 3. Nainam
chindanti
shastrani
nainam
dahati pavaka
न
न
चैनं
चैनं
Vedantyapah
वेद्यन्तापः
na
न शोषयति मारुतः.
Very nice. So, we're all discordant. But that's okay. That's fine. I hope you enjoyed it. And as you start reading it yourself, I hope you will start doing the patha yourself. And we can start doing the patha more and more in your own family. Your children, hopefully they'll hear it. Even if they don't understand it, they will start catching the sound. The sound has its own power. Look at the perfection of the sound. So very briefly, if you didn't know the meaning, I think last time we talked about it very briefly. So sandhi is na enam. Enam is this. A, usually wherever it comes in Sanskrit, it usually is this. So te is them or they, and ete is when they are closer to you. So saha is he, and eshaha is when he is closer to me. That's how Sanskrit shows that there is a distance between the person you are talking about. Whether if the person is far, you will say saha ramaha, he is Rama, saha ramaha. You will say eshaha ramaha, this is Rama. And we're going very simple, no stress. You're going to enjoy this. So na enam chindati. So he's talking about the Purusha. This, and he doesn't, in Sanskrit, we don't have to mention sometimes. We'll say this cannot be pierced. Chindanti shastrani, pierced by weapons. Right? And whenever you see shastrani, shastra is shastram will be the neutral, will be the singular, and shastrani is plural. Pustakam, pustakani. You will see that. Phala, phalam, phalani. So ani, whenever comes, and there is a complexity between ani and ani, and that I will defer for now. And whenever there is a plural noun, because this shastrani is doing the chindanti, that's doing the piercing. So chindanti comes from the dhatu chid. Chid is to pierce, and you know in Hindi we have ched, right? So chid comes. So chindanti, where the second na shows that it's plural. If it were chindati, then it would be shastram chindati, one weapon piercing. The moment we say chindanti, it implies multiple weapons, and then the verb has to match the noun. So chindanti shastrani. We're not going to say chindanti shastram. Chindanti means many shastras. So whenever you say chindanti, you'll have to have shastrani. If you had shastram, then it would be chindati. I hope that. So if the subject is plural, the verb will be plural. If the subject is singular, the verb will be singular. This is the beauty of Sanskrit. So na enam chindanti shastrani. This is not pierced by weapons. This is what? This Purusha that Sri Krishna is talking about. Na enam dahati pavakaha. Pavakaha is fire. Dahati is to burn. Now notice, pavakaha here is singular. So it became dahati. But if it were multiple fires, then it would have been dahanti. Very simple. Sanskrit is very simple. Low stress. The rules of we understand, it becomes very easy to enjoy. And the first thing that we have to do is we have to just enjoy. So, na enam dahati pavaka. The sandhi is na enam. So, a plus a becomes I whenever there is sandhi. So, you saw that in the first pada also. Na enam becomes nainam. Here also, na enam becomes nainam. Na enam dahati pavaka. Fire cannot burn it. Na cha enam. And cha is and. Again, the enam, na and enam is there. Kledyantyaapaha. Apaha, we have talked about earlier, is water. So, kledyantyaapaha. Kledyanta is that which can, kledyanti is to get wet. So, water cannot make it wet. And similarly, na shoshayati maruta. Shoshayati comes from the root dhatu shusha, which is to dry. So, nor can marutaha, the wind, dry it. So, very simple, beautiful shloka. And if you can appreciate the perfection of the shloka, then you will start enjoying the patha. It's an almost mathematical completeness. It's like listening to a beautiful musical by Hariprasad Chaurasia or Beethoven, if you like Beethoven. It completes, and if you will know when you do the patha, if you miss something, you will know that I have missed something. So even sometimes when I'm trying to just memorize, I'm driving and it's coming in my head and something is not right. If in my head comes nachainam nainam kledyantyaapaha, I know something is not right. And then the word will come right. So often the sound will precede the word if you start catching the sound. And that's the beauty of this perfection. So let's just quickly go back. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha. So see the perfection of these 8 varnas, how they have been arranged. Now we've talked about varnik chanda, and these are 8 varnas. But the length can be increased or decreased. And that is another beauty of only the 5th, 6th, and 7th varnas have a given length that they have to have. For example, if you go to the first one, nainam chindanti shastrani, The fifth is ti. Ti is small. Shas becomes long because sh is followed by sa. It will take longer to say it. Tra, a is dirgh. So these are the only. This is the only rule in the padas that. So it will be short, long, long. Te, shas, tra. On the and the same thing you will find in the third one also. So the yantya ya. So the is small because there is an sorry. Yeah, the yant is longer, so that's a dirgh, and ya is longer. So fifth, sixth, and seventh will have rules. Otherwise, there is complete freedom. Now, the beauty of this is the rules on us are very minimal. Say, Ved Vyas, Sage Vyas restricted himself to very little variation. But in that little variation of style, he brings a universe. That's why part of the Gita is not difficult. There are only two chandas, the Anushtup and the Trishtup. This is the Anushtup, 8, 8, 8, 8. So I hope you enjoyed it. Nainam chindanti shastrani. I hope you will do it when you are done with this talk, this discussion. You will do it and you will hear it. Hear Brahmanandji, hear the little boy Pai who does it, and then do it yourself, so that this fear of pronouncing, enunciating goes away from you. And that is what I see. A lot of people have this desire to speak Sanskrit, but they cannot fulfill it. But this is how I could fulfill my desire to speak Sanskrit, not only Sanskrit, but the highest class of Sanskrit. So we don't talk with normal people. We only talk with our greatest sages and teachers. I mean, I'm just joking, but so if you want, we can take another shloka quickly, and then we can open it up for discussion. One of our favorite guests is here, Makaranji. I don't know if you all know him. Makaranji is a well-known writer. I don't know if he's still there. He's a very well-known writer, poet, critic, editor.
Namaste. Namaste, everybody. It's great to be in this broadcast and see Dr. Singh in another avatar as the expounder of the wisdom of the Gita, to which he has given his own tongue-twisting, should I say, reinterpretation, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. But I just wanted to say very quickly, I'm really, really impressed and gratified at how detailed his explanations are. And certainly I'm benefiting tremendously from them, returning to the Gita, which also has been one of my, life-changing books. But thank you for this opportunity. I am planning to join every Friday. Let's see if I can succeed. I have a 2-year-old daughter, and sometimes my wife complains that I'm always on my computer, but so be it. Anyhow, go right back to you, Dr. Singh.
Okay, so let's go to 24th. And I hope everyone will at least go back to this shloka and play with it. Please have fun with it. Don't take it seriously. Just enjoy it. Sometimes in my sleep, these words come back, these sounds come back in my head, and they play in my head. And it's just beautiful. I would rather have these sounds play in my head than some random, new song that has come. I can't even think of the old Rambaho, Sambaho. Those are the songs I remember. I date myself. All right. So let's go to the 24th shlok. Basically, this is the same shloka saying the same thing. The first two padas are saying the same thing that the shloka 2.23 said, but it is said in a negative way. So negative way about the Purusha. Purusha is achedyo. We talked about chindanti, achedyo yama, dahyo yama. So this is the first pada. means whenever you put in front of obviously a word, it is the negative of it. So achedyo yama dahyo yama. When you're going to do the recitation, don't forget the ma. A lot of people do achedyo yam dahyo yam. No, achedyo yama dahyo yama. And when you see a professional, you will see even more beautifully how it will come out. Akledyo shoshya evacha. Akledyo, that S like shape, you don't pronounce it when you do a part. Akledyo shoshya evacha. When we'll go to the meaning, but I just want you to get the sound, because if we start appreciating the sound, then it will stick. Now you have two appreciations or three appreciations. One is the sound, second is the meaning, and the third will be the visual. So achedyo yama dahyo yama. Akledyo shoshya evacha. It cannot be pierced. Achedyo yam. Ayama is this. Ayam Atma Brahma. If you remember your Upanishads, this Atma is Brahma. Ayam, this. So that's how I remember my ayams. Achedyo yama dahyo yama. It is something that cannot be pierced. It cannot be pierced. Adahyo yam. It cannot be burnt. Akledyo. It cannot be made wet. Ashoshya. It cannot be dried. Eva cha. So cha, whenever it comes, it is the sound of it. All that means is and the thing you will notice, unlike Hindi, if we would say achedyo yama cha adahyo yama, in Sanskrit you don't have to have the order. The subject can come before, subject can come at the end, and that allows the metrical structure that the chandas in Sanskrit have. So you see here, and comes at the end. Eva cha. So eva usually means he. He is Hindi he. Certainly. Or nishchit he, nishchay he, something like that. Eva cha. There are some people who say that these evas and he are put in to just be fillers. I don't agree with it. I think they are there to add the beauty, and they have a clear meaning here. So here you see evacha is not a filler. Evacha has a very intense meaning. It actually makes it even more powerful. So achedyo yama dahyo yam. It cannot be pierced and it cannot be burnt. Akledyo shoshya evacha. And certainly, evacha, cha is and, eva is certainly, and certainly it cannot be made wet, nor can it be dried. Nitya sarvagata sthanuhu. These are the three words in the first pada. Nitya sarvagata sthanuhu. Nitya, you know, is something that will always be there. It will abide. Sarvagata, gata is gone. Gata, which comes from the root gacha, gama. Gata comes. So sarva gata is that which has gone everywhere, that which is pervading everything. Now, commentators disagree what that gata really means. Is it that it goes into the bodies and comes back and it can go anywhere, or does sarva gata means it pervades everything? So if I have a doubt, I just go to Sri Aurobindo, and he said it pervades everywhere, because it's not just word meaning. He's also going by his spiritual experience. So this Purusha is pervading everything. It is nitya, so it is in time. In time, it is beyond time. It is timeless. Nitya, it is eternal. It is steady. Sarvagata means it is all pervasive, omnipresent. It pervades everything. So it is beyond time and it is beyond space. Sthanuhu. Sthana, everybody I think knows sthana. But here sthanu is one that is established, so it won't change. It will aparivartaniya, as they say, unchanging. But to me, it also sthanu is one that is established. That is the foundation, sthanu. And at the end of this is a nuhu. That is the visarg. When the sandhi happens, it becomes ra. Because the word afterward is, after sthanuhu is achalo. So achala. And so sthanu and achala, when they come, the sandhi becomes sthanur chalo. So just remember that. So when we separate the third pada, it will be nitya sarvagata sthanuhu. But when you do the patha, because the visarga is followed by a sa, the visarga will become a half sa. Nitya sarvagata sthanuhu. So we will do the part of this, and then we will listen to Brahmanandji, who is absolutely beautiful. Nitya sarvagata sthanuhu achaloyam sanatanaha. Achala, you know, that which is never moving. Even though it is all pervading, it is fixed, it is not moving. And it is achala. And it is sanatana. Sanatana is that which is eternal. So we found we had a definition earlier, I think, in which ajo nitya shashvatoyam puranaha. Remember that Shloka 20, when they were describing the Purusha? Aja, that which is not born; nitya, that which is always abiding; shashvata, which is eternal; and puranaha, ancient. Ajo nitya shashvatoyam puranaha, in the 20th shloka. So if you want to anytime refer back to it. Now here he's giving different adjectives for it. So when I pronounce it, notice nitya sarvagata sthanuhu achaloyam sanatanaha. So these are the 5 adjectives given. It is it is eternally abiding. It will never end. It is nitya. It is unending. It is all pervasive. It is established or foundational. It is unchanging, and it is eternal. It is timeless. So nitya, sanatana have similar sense, but subtle nuances on it. So if you want to play Pankaj, and let's hear the beautiful rendition.
अचेद्योऽयमदास्योऽयम् अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एव च नित्यसर्वगतस्थाणुः अचलोऽयं सनातनः.
What a beautiful vibration he has to his voice. And if you notice, when he said achedyo yama dahyo yama, so the pressure is akledyo shoshya evacha. Why did he do akledyo? Because right after a is a half varna. So the a gets a little more time. Akledyo shoshya evacha. And I know, don't get too caught up in the rules. Ignore all the rules after I've told you, and just enjoy the sound. So Pankaj, just one more time, and then hopefully everyone will be brave enough to start chanting it. So let's do one more, and then we will open it for questions.
अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एव च नित्यसर्वगतस्थाणुः अचलोऽयं सनातनः.
Notice how subtle is nitya sarvagata sthanuhu is. So he's a beautiful vachak of the Gita. I don't really know where he was. I don't know much about him. I don't know if he is from the Ramakrishna mission, but beautiful rendition. So I think the meaning is clear. Does anyone feel brave enough to do the part with me? Are you? I hope.
Yeah.
I can get, and I see a little baby there, little girl. Maybe she'll do the part with us too. We need that. Today is the Women's Day, so I think we need.
Dr. P,
Okay,
one
ready
more.
to do it?
I have
Huh?
a suggestion. We can also, sometime it's easier when you, like the 4 padas, right? Like one at a time. So you read one, everybody repeats one, then you read the second one, then you repeat
Okay,
the
we can
third
do
one.
that.
And that makes it a little bit easier to catch because you don't have to do the whole thing at one shot.
Okay, so you want to do the achedyoyam, dahyoyam.
So that, and then, yeah, we can try that.
Okay, let's just do that. 1, 2, 3.
Achedyo
Dahyoyam.
dayoyam.
So I suggest,
No, no.
I suggest, Parikshit ji,
Yeah.
you first say it, then we will repeat it after.
Yeah,
Okay,
we copy.
okay.
And
Okay.
everybody should also just don't read and try to say it. Just copy whatever you hear from Dr. P. Just like try to repeat that sound. Don't read and try to pronounce that. That reads different.
Yeah. So again, the hearing, what I'm trying to do is the hearing has to connect with your verbal understanding, which has to connect with your visual understanding. Adults do not learn the way you want, and Samir is the one who started it. People want to learn Sanskrit. I am not a teacher of Sanskrit, but I love Sanskrit. So if you can develop a triple appreciation of Sanskrit, then hopefully it'll stick. That's all we want. We want to be able to understand the deep things about Sanskrit. So I'll read it, and then hopefully when I read it, it will be closer to everybody's. Let me just read the first line. Maybe just we do the first line. Achedyo yama dahyo yama akledyo shoshya evacha. Now let's do it. Achedyo yama dahyo yama akledyo Okay, I'm going to do second line. Nitya sarvagata sthanuhu achaloyam sanatanaha.
Sarvagata satanu
Achaloyam
yama
sanatanaha.
sanatana.
Okay, I think my daughter, when she started playing the violin, with the 50 children all started playing the violin, and we all were parents were sitting, it was one of the most exhilarating experience, and it was also one of those experiences that I hope she gets better than this. So I hope we will all keep working at it. I promise you, if you can hear it while you are trying to understand it verbally, just hear it. The sound has its own layer of meaning, and that is the beauty of Sanskrit. If we want to understand, there are several. Go ahead. If we can understand that there is a subtler layer of meaning which is not verbal, which is that meaning is the meaning of sense, the meaning of perception, and you directly feel it. There are no words involved. So if we can catch that note that is behind it, that is the beauty of Sanskrit. There's a music going on, and slowly, don't try to catch it. Slowly it will dawn on you that there's a music behind these words, and there's a vibration behind these words. If we can just listen to them quietly, then things will happen on their own. You don't have to try too hard. We try too hard to understand and to learn mentally, verbally. We need to go to the way a child learns. The child doesn't learn just by meaning. Child learns by the sound and by talking with his mother. All wrong, all garbled, but the child doesn't give up. The child talks. You are not children. And the problem with us adults is we don't like to make mistakes. We want perfection. A child doesn't care about perfection. A child just wants to do it. So we need to go beyond that state of perfection and the pressure of all our pundits that you have to pronounce it correctly. Forget them all. You're dealing with Sri Krishna directly. So let's enjoy Sri Krishna. So I think I will I won't torture you anymore. But I think at least you'll get a taste of this. You got to taste it. You got to let it roll on your tongue, as in the Japanese poets. When they used to write haiku, they would say, roll it on your tongue 1,000 times. So roll this on your tongue. Achedyo yama dahyo yama akledyo shoshya evacha nitya sarva gatah sthanuhu achalo yam sanatanaha. What a beautiful sound it carries. And so it'll go in our cells, it'll vibrate through our cells, it'll vibrate through our DNA, and hopefully we will be transformed if we can learn to absorb not just the verbal meaning, but absorb it as an energy, the energy, sound energy. And then there are other layers which we can talk about, but these are the two layers. So I just wanted you to experience it. Since it is Shivratri, Mahashivratri, I will give you all a break and let's open it. If you have questions, concerns, please feel free to ask. Was it worthwhile? Did you guys enjoy it?
Yes, very much.
It was
Awesome. Just do it. Just listen to Swami Brahmanand. There's a little kid, 4 or 5 years old, whose Mamaji teaches him, and it's such a beautiful thing to have a child do it. So if a child can do it, we can do it too. Just listen. Just do one shloka a day. If you really want to do it, take one shloka a day, chew it, speak it. Yeah, that's it. And maybe the little ones can learn from you.
So, when we're trying to say it all together, what happens is when we are about to say it, unfortunately, we're interrupted by everybody, and everyone's sound is coming at a different time. So we wanted to be a symphony, but it just turns out to be just different timing and, not very synchronized. I think it's probably because of Zoom. I think if you were in person, it would have been a little smoother, possibly.
So I have taught a few of my friends how to do the Patha. And really, I'm not a technical expert. There's so many schools of the Patha. What I try to bring them is the sheer bhava. Bhava, it has to come from here. Come feeling. Don't forget the feeling. The deeper the feeling, you're directly hearing the sound. At least my bhava is this Sri Krishna's sound I'm hearing. His consciousness was connected with this sound. That is how we see. The sound is the body of Sri Krishna's consciousness. He has put his awareness in this body, and now he has left us this body. This is called the sound body of Sri Krishna's consciousness. Same thing when we read Sri Aurobindo, the sound body. So now we are directly experiencing Sri Krishna. If we can remember that, then the bhava is such a beautiful bhava that we are able to speak what Sri Krishna's consciousness articulated at some point. That is the beauty of it. One of the greatest geniuses of all time, right? So we are in touch with one of the best minds that humanity has ever seen. And just the bhava and the fun, you must enjoy it. Don't make it painful. Don't make it, oh my God, I have to do one. Oh Krishna, what is this? No, do it as fun, ananda, like a child. Develop that. Start becoming a child once again. Find your inner child and just make mistakes. No problems. No wrong pronunciation will cause a mantric disaster for you. I think Sri Krishna has himself said, he has promised us that nothing bad will happen to us. So it's okay. We got all garbled, but I think if I just wanted you to get a sense of it and start doing it yourself. And I guarantee you, you do it 5-10 shlokas, the rhythm will start coming in you. And we will figure out next time we meet, we will do the Patha together whenever we meet, or you guys meet. Whenever I meet my friends, if they're getting bored, I said, okay, open the Gita and we'll do the Patha. We'll read 5 shlokas together. And we enjoy it because when your sounds synchronize, that's a beautiful experience. So hopefully, we can experience Gita in multiple ways. So if you have questions, concerns, critique, and if you want to do more of these, we can always do. It may sound a little chaotic. It's not, there's no cacophony because the vibration is beautiful. So Gauravji has asked a question. Can you explain the meaning of bhava in detail? Did I catch the question right? Yes, sir. Okay. So bhava is a not feeling. We equate bhava to feeling because we think in English equivalent is, so whenever we have Sanskrit words, when we try English equivalents, we make a mess of them. And so Atma is not the soul, things like that. Brahman is not God. So Dharma is not religion. Sanskrit is very, nuances are different. So bhava comes from the word bhava, which is to be. That's beautiful. To be. Bhava, this is who I am. So that includes feelings. My state of being is actually deeper than my feeling. Feeling is just one manifestation of my being. Manuji is sending the whole being, mental, emotional, physical, psychic. Yes. So the feeling that is even deeper than your emotional feeling. And that, how do I explain it? Swati ji is there. I presume that's your baby or your friend or nephew. Okay. When you care for someone deeply, it is no longer an emotion, right? You like this, you like ice cream, or you're very happy, you watch a good movie and you're happy. But something deeper, which is who you are. It is quiet. It doesn't want anything in return. It is not transactional. It is not that I do something for this person and I will get something back. It is a deeper state of being. So bhava, if I have to explain it in English, is a deeper, intenser feeling that we are. Sometimes if you have felt deep love for something, for your teacher or for your Ishtadeva, that deep, huh? Excuse me? What did you say, Swatiji? Or maybe the baby was talking.
No, my son was saying something, so I just muted him.
Okay, that's your son. Okay, I thought it was a girl. Sorry. So that feeling is deeper than that. Translation not into feeling is wrong. The state of being, that is bhava. And it goes deeper than just an emotion. So when you do something with deep bhava, like for my mother, I go and see my mother and I have nothing really, but I take a little small gift for her. She doesn't want anything from me. There's nothing I can give her. I can never thank her. It has, thanking you. How do you thank your mother? So I just go and I bring her a little gift, but the feeling is so deep. That is bhava. So if we have the bhava, then it goes deeper. The words like bhava, shraddha, very difficult to translate. Shraddha, as you know, shraddha is not just faith or belief. Shraddha is so deep, you know it's going to happen. If I have the shraddha that I will realize the Atman or the Brahman, I have the shraddha, no logic. I know I'm going to experience the Brahman. That is not just a faith that it will happen. Somewhere I know it's going to happen. Without that inner knowing, shraddha cannot be. I know, no matter, the whole world can come and tell me that you will not reach the Brahman, you will not realize, and I have the shraddha. So just like Shraddha, Bhava is a very deep word. And when you have the Bhava, when you let the Bhava come out, you become that, and you let your outer self become what you are already inwardly. That deep love for Sri Krishna, or the deep desire, yearning to realize, to understand this, when you express it with that deep feeling, then you're in your external organs, external layers of your body, your mind, your prana, your physical, that deep inner consciousness will come out. So it will start transforming your mind and your vital energy, your prana, even your body. This is the understanding, which is what we call the vaka, the mantra. The vaka shakti is the original creative power. If we know how to speak, we can create things with that power of speaking. That is our ancient understanding. But it cannot just come like I'm talking, just, we're talking as friends and not superficial conversation. There are layers of vaka. When it comes from the highest awareness, then it can transform. For us, very simple, we just go deep in our hearts, put all our emotion, put everything into it, put all our being into it. And if we can put everything into it, all passion, emotion into it, our deepest feeling, then the mantra, the shloka will have a new power. And it doesn't have to be loud. It can be very quiet. In fact, it is very quiet. It almost borders on silence. It is the silence expressing itself through you. It is your deepest, highest truth coming out. How do you know who you really are? One way to know who you really are is to know what your deepest bhava is, what your deepest feelings are. That's how you know what you are. When we say, I know who I am, what does that mean? Now you have a name, you have a tag, you have a designation. Yeah, but that's all on the surface. That's the mind, the body. But the deepest bhava, the sense of being, asmita in Sanskrit, in Hindi we call it. Just the sense of I-ness, if I may translate it. That is your deep feeling. So if you can touch that while you are expressing yourself, then that inspirational energy will come through you. So, but don't make it serious. You got to have fun with it. You must have fun. If there's one rule, if I don't give any rules, I don't like rules, but there's one rule I can, golden rule is to have fun, whatever you do. So do this with a lot of joy and ananda, because this is beautiful. There was something else, one more comment I think came in astrology. There was something, I do not know astrology, so but maybe can we pull that out? Some comment about astrology. I saw it briefly come up.
Yes. So Sapna has that comment. She's saying in Vedic astrology, the term bhav, bhavesh, and karak are studied. Bhav in technical terms is the 12 houses, and that in turn represent the 4 bhavs: dharma, arth, kam, moksha. And these 12 bhav are literally the all of us: physical, mental, social, the past, present, everything.
Okay, that's one way of saying it. Also, all of us, when it comes into one movement, it is the bhava. That may be a nice way to describe it. When I said use the word bhava, I just use it as a deep psychic feeling, psychic bhava, deep inner way of being. But this is a good description. When all of you, mental, vital, social, cultural, physical, psychic, everything, all energies are lasered into one. Yeah, why not? That's beautiful.
There was also a comment, Dr. P, before that.
Yes, sir.
What Swati said. So, achedyo yam, dayo yam, akledhyo shoshya evacha. Here, how did a sound come when we continue after pausing, even though it's not written in the text?
I think I understand the question. If you listen to it, and if you can rephrase your question, but what I'm understanding is was there a sound behind the word, or was there a something running behind? Am I understanding it?
So if I can say, it says achedyoyam dayoyam. Then there is a pause, and then when we start again, we say akledyo. So how did come there? Akledyo. So is not written here.
Yeah, because the ma is half. Ma with a halant. So and ma with the halant became a full ma. If you see that, ached, if you read the sandhi, when you do the sandhi with ched, it is not achedyo yam, dahyo yam, kledyo shoshya. It is a sandhi of ayam. Ayam is ya, ma adha, half. So when the adahya comes and merges with ayam, the ma becomes complete. So when we do the sandhi with ched, we will say ayam, but ayam is ma, that is half. So the sandhi with ched of achedyo yam dahyo yam would be achedyah, ayam, adahyah, and ayam. So when you add these four words, so visarga with visarga often will become an o. You will see that. And often it will be written like kledyantyaapo. But when you pronounce it in a part, you will say kledyantyaapaha. So achedya ayam. So it becomes achedyo yam. Adahyo yam. So yama and adahya become achedyo yama dahyo yam. That is why when he pronounces it, he's not saying achedyo yam dahyo yam. Achedyo yama dahyo yam. And so Swami Brahmanandji, when he's pronouncing, when he's reading, when you go back to the patha, you will see that he stresses on it. And then akledyo shoshya evacha. So I hope that answers. Okay. Whenever you see this, that is usually an but we don't pronounce it. This S sign. I don't know what it is called, but I forgot my Sanskrit grammar a long time ago, and I'm happy for it.
Hemant has also posted a Sandhi Vishad.
Dikha, what did he say?
It's an image that he has shared.
You can project it, Pankaj. Share your screen.
So, now we are reaching the 25th shloka. I will quickly read it if you want. And that at the 25th, we have done the first answer of Sri Krishna to Arjuna. Ah, that's right. That's beautiful. So, Swatiji, achedyah, ayam, adahyah, adahyah, there should be a visarga after that, and then ayam. So it will become achedyo yama dahyo yama, and then akledyah, and then with ashoshyah, it will become akledya shoshya eva cha. So there is, you will say, where did the visarg go after the ya? Ashoshya eva cha. So visarga can disappear if it is followed by certain sounds. And that is, it is called, I think, visarga vilopa or something. I think visarga viloma, I forget my Sanskrit. So the visarga will disappear. So akledyo shoshya eva cha. So that second visarga will disappear. And nitya sarvagata sthanuhu, you know that. Achal and ayam vinagel became achaloyam sanatana. That okay? Okay. Do you want to do the next shloka quickly, or should we pause?
Yeah, we can.
We can. Okay. Next, quickly we'll go, and again it is describing the Purusha, and here Sri Krishna's again genius comes out. Now he's taken off from the chindanti and the burning, the piercing. He has taken off to a higher description of the Purusha. Avyakto yama chintyo yama. Again, the same thing happened. Avyakta ayam, achintya ayam. So I'll just quickly say this. Avyakto yama chintyo yama.
Avyakto.
I'm sorry?
Sorry, I started in between. Please
No
continue.
problem. Avyakto yama chintyo yama. Avikaryo yamuchyate. So it is avyakta, and avyakta is a very important word in Vedanta. But avyakta, very simply, is that which is not manifested. Ayam, everyone knows. Achintya. Achintya, you cannot think about it. Whatever you think about, it is not that. That is the very beautifully it is described. Achintyo yama. Avikaryo yamuchyate. Avikarya is that which will never have any changes. No vikara, no distortion, no deficiency will come. Ayam uchyate is, it is said. Tasmad evam. So tasmat is a word that is used whenever Sri Krishna is almost mathematical. Tasmat is therefore. Thus. Ataha. Tasmat evam. Evam is again like this. Vidit vainam. Vidit is to know. Viditva. So whenever tva will come, so it will, if there are two verbs, I went to the temple and then I studied, right? So tva will come. So viditva, after knowing, viditva enam, again the same. This, he's talking about this Atma. So tasmat evam viditva enam. So once you, thus knowing this, nanu shochitum arhasi. Na anu shochitam. Anu shochitam is to grieve. Arhasi is the capability. So he comes back to his first logic, first reason is now finished on the 25th. So when Arjuna says, how can I fight? I don't want to kill them. It is not good for the nation. It is not good for the society. It is morally wrong. It will take us all to hell. And what kind of dharma is this? It's better that they kill us than we fight them and destroy them. So Sri Krishna's first logic, starting with 2.11, ends in 2.25. First counter argument is you cannot kill. Period. You can never kill anyone and you can never be killed by anyone. So the logic, whole destruction of his premise has happened. And here he ends it. Knowing all this, you have no capability of having sorrow. You cannot have sorrow. You must not have sorrow. So when I say these are not fillers, this is a very emphatic statement. Emphatic statements being made by Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna gives him no room to give up the fight. It is not even considered. Outright, it is rejected. You do not have the capability. Which, if you're talking to a friend, and I tell Pankajji, you do not have the capability of not doing your work, that doesn't mean he doesn't have the capability. That means he cannot do the work. He will not give up that word. So the way, remember, this is a warrior talking to a warrior. And this is a comrade, a friend talking to his friend. So when these terms are used, they have a great power. But it is like when we talk to great friends, we say these things, and it is a beautiful way of saying this, which the poet has brought it out in this shloka. So it is not just a filler. People say these are fillers, they keep bringing it back. No, it is not a filler. In fact, it is beautifully placed here to close the first argument. And so that is, my submission, my theory, if you want to know it, is that the Gita as a work of literature is so beautifully structured that it makes the expression, the message, imperative. It drills it into us, because there's no difference between the form and the content. Greatest artists that we know of, you cannot separate the form and the content. If you start separating the form, the content will be gone. And this is the genius of Sri Krishna, which we believe that Sri Krishna said this. This is the genius, or whoever had that spirit of Sri Krishna speak through him, sage Vyasa or whoever it was, has caught that inspiration, and it is a perfect enunciation of what Sri Krishna is trying to do. So if someone says, oh, they just put uchyate as a filler, no, it is not a filler. It has been described. And when was it described? In the Veda, in the Upanishad. So he's taking him back to the ancient Aryan heritage. So the genius of Sri Krishna is his logic is at multiple levels, and he will come back to it. You are an Aryan, you cannot give up. An Aryan is not just a race. An Aryan is one who stands for nobility, who is always standing for self-refinement, and who has that lineage, that Aryan aspiration from the beginning of time, from the Veda, from the Upanishad. Ari is the root word, and Ari, as Sri Aurobindo has explained, is to dig. It is not, Ari is not the enemy here. Ari is to dig, which even now in English you will see the word arid used. So Ari is to dig, and related words you will find in Latin, arable, that which you can, where you can farm. So what
Arrow.
digging is this? Huh?
Arrow, sir. Arrow. That which is pointed. Arrow.
Arrow. Okay, arrow. So Ari is one who is digging where? In himself. He's refining himself. That is the highest meaning of the word Arya. If you respect someone even today, well, not even today, but maybe in Chanakya serial, Arya, you would call them Arya. So he is reminding him of his ancient heritage, and then this uchyate comes very appropriately. So anyway, my literary love of literature is going to always intercede here, but this is my theory, this is my book, which you are getting a free introduction to in these talks. So you want to play this, Pankajji? Let's get the anand of the sound. What a beautiful shloka.
Avyaktoyamatityayam avikaryoyamuchyate tasmadevam viditvainam nanushotitumarhati.
So I don't know. There's nothing more to be said.
I think we're good for the day. If any questions are there, we can. Yeah, I think we're good. We can pause here.
Okay, we're good. Sabko Abhinandan, Mahashivratri ka. May we all realize Shiva in our life to the fullest extent.